Hi everyone, this is my friend Linda Harris. She is competing in the Mrs. New York competition in March and will hopefully be Mrs. New York in the Miss America competition this summer. So say hi to everyone.
Hi everyone. Thank you for having me, Mercedes.
I am so excited and I'm definitely honored to have you as my first guest. I have some questions here that I wrote out, but first, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Or I guess tell them, because I know a lot about you.
Wow, okay. So my name is Linda. I am a 10-year Army veteran. That's actually where I had met Mercedes during my time in the service, and we became very good friends. Wow, I can't believe we've been like friends for like 10 years or longer.
Right.
Isn't it crazy?
Right.
So I'm also married. I have 7 children. I did 10 years in the Army, and when I got out, I tried to be a stay-at-home mom. At first, I thought I was going to be like this amazing, like Betty Crocker, Martha Stewart, learn how to crochet, knit, scrap. Hey, I remember when we tried doing scrapbooking, Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
You got me into that a little bit. And so I just thought, I was going to be like this perfect stay-at-home mom, and then I realized that it wasn't for me. So then I ended up working a couple of government positions for about 3 years, and then I figured that I just really wasn't passionate about my job. And so with a leap of faith, I decided to resign from my position, and I started pursuing modeling and acting, and that's what I've been doing for like the last year now. It's been a learning experience, and it's completely different than all the other positions that I've ever had in my career, but I like it. I love it, and I'm passionate about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we had already talked about previously how there's some confusion between Miss America and Mrs. America. And so, mentioning that you have children, I'm sure people are going to go, what? I thought Miss America was. So.
Yes, definitely. So there are many different pageants and many different pageant systems, so a lot of people can obviously get confused. This system right here, the Mrs. New York America pageant that I'm competing for, is actually for any female that's married. There's no age requirement. As long as you are married, then you're eligible to compete in this pageant. Yes. So that's the really unique thing about this pageant system is that I believe don't quote me on the exact age requirement for the Miss New York, but it's for females that are not married. And then They have the Miss Teen New York, which would be for obviously females that are not married, they're teenagers, but I believe it's up to like age 19. So there's so many different pageant systems. The one that I'm actually competing for, again, is for females that are married. There's no, length and requirement of how long you had to be married. Just as long as you're married, you're able to compete.
Right. You had also mentioned that you worked for the government after getting out of the military. Right now we're in a government shutdown. We had talked about, some money-saving techniques because as a mom of 7 and, the economy and things. What are some ways that you save for your family? How do you make ends meet? How do you pinch those pennies?
Wow. So honestly, I don't know. A lot of times, that's one of the things that I have heard, like, throughout, all of these years is when, you first meet people and then you're like, oh, yeah, I'm married. And you're like, oh, do you have kids? I'm like, yes. They'll be like, oh, how many kids you have? I have 7. And then I always wait because now I'm used to it. They'll be like, 7? I'll be like, yes, 7. And so they're like, well, how do you do it? And I'm like, honestly, you know what? I honestly do not know. I have always been the type of person that is very resourceful. I honestly believe that you have to have multiple streams of income. Even if it's not, bringing in a whole lot of income, as long as you have different things that you can bank on coming in, it's very important.
Right.
So even when military, I worked with direct sales. So direct sales is not for everyone. It definitely isn't for everyone. It's definitely a hustle. A lot of times, some people are better than others. But for me, I have always looked at direct sales as a way to make some kind of extra income coming in.
Right.
Even though it's never been, I've never made it up to those $1 million clubs and things like that
Right.
that a lot of direct sales companies have. But even if it was just having an extra $100 coming in that I can bank on, and
Right.
I knew that I was in control of it, whether it was booking parties or making sales, I had some kind of control over how much money I was trying to obtain for that month.
Right.
Was very, very important. So doing direct sales companies, currently with the modeling, a lot of times people think oh, models make so much money. That's not the case.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the case. So there are different ways that you have to try to supplement money coming in. So a type of modeling that I do as well is brand ambassador / promotional modeling. And for me, that works because there's all kind of what we refer to as gigs, and I work different events. Right. So it's very flexible. I get to choose, what events I want to work, and then the money is actually pretty good, So that's an additional way that I make some kind of, extra income coming in. I don't know if you've ever been to Sam's Club, or I don't know if Walmart does it anymore, but if you've ever been through a supermarket and you have people giving out food samples and trying to tell you about products, that's also a form of brand ambassador work as well. And a lot of times people think that, oh, that's just people making minimum wage, just standing there passing out samples. But a lot of companies, they'll pay you $20 an hour to stand there and give out samples,
Right.
And all it is learning about the products and being able to answer generic questions. For me, it's easy work.
Right.
So
an easy paycheck.
Well. Yeah, exactly. And then, that $100 can be a pair of shoes, for one of my kids. Well, shoes are so expensive.
Yeah.
But, or I have kids that are very active in sports and different activities, and that adds up, you know. And before I really looked at the whole trying to generate different multiple streams of income coming in, it was really hard to be able to put my children in activities. And it wasn't really the fact that I didn't have the time to chauffeur them around back and forth. A lot of times it was the money. I don't have the money to, pay for, $150 for them to do football or whatever the case is.
Right.
So...
Yeah. Do you do couponing? I think I saw a post somewhere where you said you got it was a crazy deal with your coupons. Tell me about that, because I have not I'm a sales shopper, but I've never really done couponing. So
yes, so I actually took a break from couponing, and I really need to probably get back into it. But yes, for I guess a good period, I go back and forth with the whole couponing phase. I think the main thing that I've learned with couponing is that I was starting to become kind of like a hoarder, I guess, and no, seriously, and it was just because, it was on sale, or just because, I got a really good deal for it, I would just go ahead and run out and,
even if
grab
you didn't need
deals.
it.
And I didn't necessarily need it, and then it'll be I'll come home with bags and bags of all of this stuff, and they're looking at me well, where are we going to put this stuff at, or why did you get this, or why are you getting denture cleaners? No one in the house. So.
Oh, that's funny.
But what I was doing with a lot of my couponing hauls was I was working at an organization, and I would go ahead and, a lot of my couponing hauls were things that I knew we weren't going to use, or it was like just excessive amounts of things like lotions or shampoos or stuff, I would go ahead and donate. So
Oh,
it was,
that's nice. Right.
something that was useful. I was able to, donate it to organizations, but my family would just look at me like, oh my gosh, and I would show out these receipts like, but I only paid like 10 cents for all of these
right.
things. So I think like the main thing with couponing is you really have to learn the stores that you're going to, because each store has their own rules,
right.
How many coupons you can use, even the coupons itself, there's rules on it, like
right.
how many of the same coupon you can use. You have to really be organized, and you have to be
yeah, I tried that once, and I got like it was hard. We lived in Wenatchee at the time, and it was really hard just with the three of us to get groceries. And so I had like a book. I was going to do couponing, and I always found like I'd clip the coupons, put them in the book, and go to the grocery store without my book. And then like all my coupons would expire, and I was just like, this is like wasting my time. But, honestly.
The thing is when you have someone that's behind you, and you're over here trying to type these coupons instructions, and he's looking at you like, hurry up.
Right. Right. You're doing a charitable cause for your competition, right? You're working with homeless vets, and can you tell me about that charity work that you're doing?
Yeah, so obviously me being a veteran, I have a special heart for veterans, and my focus is really going toward homeless veterans and those veterans that are transitioning.
Right.
So transitioning, not necessarily meaning that they are currently homeless, but maybe they just, moved into their new home and they're trying to get themselves situated.
Right.
Maybe they had some kind of, life event, and, maybe they lost their job, and now, they're transitioning, getting back into the flow of, working. I do donate at my local VA hospital, and so I have generated a list of items that are needed. If anyone can actually do this, if you go to your local VA hospital, you can find out what type of products they're accepting donations for.
Right.
So I obtained the list, but I also specifically requested like items that the homeless veterans are needing, and so they gave me a list of items that are needed, and so far I've done one drive, which is a toilet paper drive, and I'm looking to coordinate another drive as well. Nice.
Yeah. So how many side hustles do you have going on right now? You're acting, you're modeling. What all are you doing on your spare time?
Spare time.
Spare time.
So, I know, right? So my spare time hustle, as far as actually income coming in, I would say is doing the modeling. The type of modeling that I really work for payment is commercial modeling. Right. So I know we had this conversation before. There's different kinds of modeling. Mm-hmm. Some people think that models is just strictly the people that you see on the runways. Working in fashion shows. That's not the type of modeling that is my per se type of modeling. I do fashion shows, but most of the fashion shows that I participate in are charity type fashion shows, right. And they're no pay. I'm so sorry because I have a cold also. I'm over here like, So commercial modeling is typically models that look like your everyday people, and those are the type of models that you would see like in commercials, mm-hmm. or on possibly like billboards, or right. A cell phone company, they're trying to, do an advertisement. It's your everyday people that, an average person looking at it can relate to that person. So I work those type of gigs. I've been in an infomercial. I've worked back in commercials also as like just the background people, like at, in several different commercials as well. So I do that type of work. The brand ambassador work, promo model work, I I just, talked about, which, food samplings, working different events. I would say like the spring, summertime is like the big time of year where there's all kind of events because the weather is nice. There's a lot of outdoor events and festivals.
Right.
So those are type of events I work. I also do like in the liquor stores, like the liquor samplings. So those are fun also. Again, all of that type of work just really requires you to be able to be personable, learn about a product, and be able to communicate with people, and be able to just not be easily offended. When people are like, no, they're not interested.
Right.
Be able to just brush it off and keep
you gotta
on.
Be resilient.
Yeah, with the next person.
And don't take it
so
personal.
I do that. What other kind of work I do?
I think I saw that you were launching your Pampered Chef again.
Oh, yeah.
Is that true?
Yes.
I need to get one of those choppers. I love those choppers.
Definitely my website.
And actually, I'll post links to if anybody wants to support Linda in her endeavors, I will also include links to the different various ways that people can help further your dream and support you.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. So I am relaunching my Pampered Chef business throughout, I don't even know, maybe like the last, 5-6 years. I've worked different direct sales companies.
Can you list some of those? I'd be interested. What are some of the different things that you've tried?
So I've tried passion parties and pure romance. So those are adult romance products. Let's see, Simple Man, which is their specialty product or their specialty product line is like beard oils. So that's really like to men. Let me see, I've done Pamper Chef, Avon. I'm the Avon lady. No. Let me see what else. I think some years back I did Discovery Toys, which was a direct sales company that's toys, learning toys for children.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there's like a couple of other ones out there, but those are like the main ones that I have worked. And then here I am again with Pampered Chef. So I think the thing with the whole direct sales company is that you really have to find a product that you love and a product that you believe in.
Right.
Once you actually start, believing in a product, using the products on a regular basis, and being able to answer questions that the average person will have, that'll help you just one step closer to being successful with your business.
Right.
As far as the Pampered Chef goes, everyone has to cook. You know what I mean? Like,
right. And I've definitely used some Pampered Chef in my day. Again, my favorite was the chopper, but yeah, there's some pretty useful full kitchen supplies and tools, and I believe it wasn't that expensive either.
Yeah, no, it's not really that expensive.
You know what?
I'm gonna be honest, especially.
I think I got my chopper from you in Germany. I think I did.
Yeah, maybe I hosted a party. I don't know.
I think
I was
you
always
did.
like that one person where people were like, "Hey, you want to host a party?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll host it." I think like the biggest thing that a lot of people do not want to invest in when it comes to Pampered Chef is like the pot sets and the knife sets.
Right.
They are money. They cost a lot of money. And honestly, I wouldn't say that I'm like a cheapskate, per se, but
I mean, pinching pennies, that's how you survive financially as a family. You have to save up for that big ticket item, or maybe it's just not on the purchase list right now. So
exactly. But what I've learned, especially with the pot sets and the knives, is that you have to invest the money in certain things.
So I want to switch gears because I know you and I know your story, and I know that you've like survived so much. And although this is ordinary women doing extraordinary things, I feel like even ordinary women have extraordinary tales of triumph and overcoming. What are some things that you have overcome? Because even in life, when you're trying to do, direct sales or you're trying to model, insecurities come up from the life that you've lived. What are some things that you've overcome, and what are some ways that you overcame them?
Wow. Pick one.
Well, and you can list out a couple of them and then just kind of group what you used to overcome it, whether it was a support system or a particular book, or maybe a movie. I know that, certain songs have gotten me through rough parts in my life, or seeing a movie and like identifying with that character and going, oh, maybe that's me and I need to, change directions, or yeah.
Okay. Wow. So, let's see. So, okay, so I'd say like one of the major hurdles that I've overcome is I had my oldest. I got pregnant with my oldest child when I was 17,
Mm-hmm.
and so
And
I
that's
was
hard.
pregnant my senior year of high school. Yeah.
That's hard. I mean, even being a mom, I was a mom at 26, and it was hard. I can't even imagine being 17 and being a mom,
So yeah, so I was pregnant my senior year of high school, and I would say that was probably one of the hardest challenges, that I've overcame, because, of course, there was, bad stigma, and definitely I'm not promoting like teen pregnancy or anything, but, a lot of people looked at me and thought, oh, she's a teen, she's a teen mom, she's not going to amount to anything,
Right.
she's going to spend her life, being on, welfare, she's not going to graduate high school, she's not going to,
Right.
make anything of herself, and so with that, like, I still graduated on time, I
Nice.
still went to, I still completed out that school year, I graduated on time. I did miss out on certain things, like I wasn't able to go to my prom because I was pregnant, but I did, still graduate and walk the stage. With that, it showed me that, you have to prove people wrong. You're not what people say that you are.
Right.
Sometimes, we hear people say that this is what you are, or this is what your limits are,
Mm-hmm.
and we take that as face value, and
Mm-hmm.
we think that, wow, this is what I am because this is what people think that I am, and so we really have to find a way to change our own mindset,
Mm-hmm.
and believe that we are what we think we are.
Right.
Okay. And don't worry about other people, which is really hard. It's really hard to, especially because we're in such a judgmental society.
Yeah.
Everyone has an opinion about
Everything. Mm-hmm.
Whether it's your parenting skills, you have people that are not even parents, and they have, opinions of how your parenting style is. How can you tell me about my parenting style when you've never even had a kid?
Right.
I
I hate to say it, but I was one of those where it's like, when I'm a mom, blah, 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 blah. When I do this, blah, blah, blah. Whoo! I had to take a big old bite of humble pie because it was nothing like I expected. And you know what, though? That really, opened my eyes to everything. I think I became less judgmental as a whole after, experiencing some of those things because, yeah, we all have opinions. But, yeah, when you live it, it is a completely different story. So
yes. So I think kind of going along the same path with that situation. Modeling and acting, I would say, is a challenge as well. And I would say for a couple of different reasons. One, I am a little bit up there in age. I'm in my mid-30s, but most, people that are involved in the industry, they've been doing this for a long, long time.
and
you
they get
have
started
people that are-
young. So you
Yeah,
already
young.
are competing with people who have more experience and they're younger. And, I'm hoping that the stigma against age can be broken because, I mean, women are beautiful at every stage, whether you're a baby a teen, young 20s, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80 years old, you know, a lot of times unfortunately we focus beauty on that 20s decade,
Exactly.
so.
Exactly. So you're like, oh, so yeah. So I think like I can't even remember. Don't quote me on what like the typical, fashion models
It's
lifespan
20s.
is.
It is 20s
Yeah.
because watching America's Next Top Model, they're saying at 26 you're aging, you're up there in age, and I'm like 26. Are you kidding me? Like
I know.
you don't need your
Just like, so that means like I can't do anything anymore.
Right,
But,
and yeah.
So I think that's a bit of a challenge. One, having very little experience. Because I'm just starting out this path. Whereas there's other people. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm competing with, but within my area, that's within the industry, has been doing this for years and have been doing this for a very long time. And here I am in my mid-30s trying to, break.
Mom and yeah.
So that's a bit of a challenge. Another bit of a challenge is that the area that I'm currently living in is not an area that I'm from. I relocated to this area when I was working my previous, position.
Right.
So I don't really have like a network base here.
Are you close to New York City? Are you close to New York City?
No, I'm not in New York City. Excuse me. No, New York City is about like 6 hours away.
Oh, okay. I thought you were much closer.
Yes. Yeah. No. So I'm in I don't even know if they consider it upstate New York or Western New York, but it's like maybe an hour away from like Syracuse and an hour away from Buffalo area, like somewhere like between the two of them. So it's called Western New York, from what I understand. I hope none of my upstate Western New Yorker people be like, no, it's called this. Because I grew up, I'm actually from like the New York City area, so I grew up that if it's not New York City, it's upstate.
Right.
That's all it is to it. So with that, trying to, create a network, you have people that are kind of looking at you like, who are you? You know, like you're nobody, and you're over here trying to
be somebody.
Be somebody, and you're a nobody. That's a challenge. Another challenge, so I say age, network. Another challenge is weight. I'm not like the typical, model figure, and so, I kind of have insecurities with myself, but I've learned to overcome those insecurities, and so that's a challenge with the whole, modeling and acting industry as well. Is because everything is about a look.
Right. And you can't be in the middle. So like a lot of what I've seen on like, different shows and stuff is that if you're on the borderline, you have to choose. Either you need to work out and lose weight to be not plus size, or you need to embrace the plus size. Like you can't be, it's almost like, there's not space there. It's in certain industries. That's the case.
Correct. So like, let me see. So I've read like tons of casting calls where like, the size limit is like you have to be a size 0 to a size 6, and I'm like a size 6. I think I was like a size 5 in high school. I mean, I don't remember when the last time I could fit into like a size 6 pants, So, and then so I'm like, okay, so if I'm not a size 6, does that make me a plus size? But then technically, I don't believe that because I know a lot of plus size models, and the plus size
isn't it like 16 and up? Size 16 and up?
It's higher.
It's higher than that? Higher than 16? Size 16 and up?
Oh yeah, no, maybe it's like a size 12 and up. I'm not exactly sure where it starts at, but I know that I've read plus size castings, and I don't fit in between that.
Right.
Either.
See, so you're like, one of those right there in the middle. You've gotta basically break the mold and go, no, I'm here, I exist, I'm worthy, I'm capable. Just because I don't fit into those two categories. Yeah.
Yes. And I think that that's a really bad thing for self-image also, because then here you are and you're like, okay, you look at the fashion shows or you look in the magazines and you see, these beautiful ladies that don't look anything like you. You know,
Right.
whether it's figure-wise, whether
I
it's,
definitely deal with
design.
that.
Yeah. So, I would say, getting back to that, so the challenge would be really being able to, brush off your shoulder and not care what it is that other people think or say.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, that's something that I still work on. It's a whole lot easier said than done. It's a whole lot easier, especially with everything being, through social media. Now, social media is a really, it's taken over.
Right.
And it's like a lot of even brand ambassador work, they want to know what your social media following is.
Right.
Like if you don't have a large following and it being like organic or real followers, because there's a lot of companies where you can pay to get followers. Right. But a lot of those you can tell whether they're paid or if they're real.
Right. You know how I tell? I look at the interactions on their page. Because if they have, 10,000 followers, but only 3 or 4 likes on their posts, it lets me know that those probably aren't legitimate followers and not people that are really interested. I have to look at that too, because, starting out in modeling or even, I narrate audiobooks, I have to look and see, does this author have followers? Because it's a collaborative work. I narrate their book, we share it to our pool of audience, but I got to make sure that the time that I'm putting into those books, I'm going to get compensated for. So
exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So, so with that, then it's, you have to overcome the comparing yourself to, the other pictures that you see on social media,
Right.
where, I'm not going to lie, I probably drove my family crazy, mostly my husband, like, oh my gosh, I just posted this picture and, I only got like 2 likes on it. Or no one is like, does this picture look ugly? And then you're like over here comparing yourself, like, and when you find yourself in that predicament, you start
getting discouraged.
You kind of make up things that's wrong with your picture.
You know what? I did the same thing.
Trying to compare yourself.
Mm-hmm. I did the same thing. And, it was hard because, I saw myself going, oh, I should just stop. I should just stop what I'm doing because nobody's interested, blah, 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 whatever. But I did 2 things when I started to realize that. One, I started to see who was invested in me. Who were my true friends? Who supported me? Because who I thought were my tribe weren't, And it's not necessarily interaction online either. However, today, most interactions happen online. Like most of my friendships are continued online just because we're so busy with kids and things like that. So it is a practical tool for staying in communication. But someone, I think it was my cousin, posted, you need to know the difference between your friends and your followers. And I really started to see, when I was posting things personal about myself, that we were going through, I was expecting to see certain people participate, and they didn't. I was seeing a whole nother set, and it hurt. I'm not even going to say that it didn't hurt. Like, I had to go, dang, apparently I don't mean as much to this group of people as they mean to me, and I had to kind of go, okay, so I can dwell on this, I can get upset about this, I can let that hurt kind of crush me and demotivate me, or I can start investing in those who invest in me. And that's what I did. I changed, I look now at the names of people who participate, who share the things that I'm sharing, who like my statuses, and I go through and I actually get to know those people, and those are the relationships that I cultivate, because, especially online, most people are online anyway, and if my information, if things about me don't interest you, then you don't care about me. You know what I mean? If you don't care to read what I wrote, you don't care about me. You know what I mean? And that's fine. But, I knocked my water over. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, this whole, delving into starting my blog and being, more open and vulnerable online, really opened my eyes, and it's been painful and it's been bumpy, but the one thing that I have found is it is harder to be authentic and vulnerable. It's harder to face those truths, but it's more rewarding. The friendships that I have now are so much better, and we may not get to spend time together, but I know that person isn't, talking crap about me behind my back. Like, I'm looking for people who can celebrate when I'm celebrating, and are there to be like, you can do it when I can't, and I try to be that for other people too. But it is true. You really have to take a look at, who your audience is, because
Yeah.
sometimes it's not who you think it is. So,
Nope.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you hit that right on the head right there, how hurtful it can be, but you have to find a way to, again, change your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And just
Don't
like how
dwell on that negativity, because, that's
yeah,
something that I've struggled with, is dwelling on that negativity and going, what did I do wrong? And sometimes it's
yeah,
not even about that. And what I really realized is everybody is involved in their own lives, and just because I feel a way about someone doesn't mean they feel the same way about me, and it doesn't have to be bad, and it doesn't have to be negative, but I get to choose. I mean, there was a group of people that I invited to birthday parties, my wedding, and things like that, where I thought like we were friends, and not one from that group showed up to anything important. And that was really, back then, was like, okay, so who are my friends? That was a tough question to ask. Who are my friends? And it was hard. And, there's all kinds of emotions, like, why? What did I do? You know what I mean? What, it's hard dealing with people, but I will say that it's made me stronger. I think that in recognizing who my people are, it helped me embrace me, because when I was seeing myself through that other group's eyes, I didn't always feel good about myself. You know what I mean? But when I look at those who actually are invested in my life, who see me, who care about what I'm doing, I start to listen to them. You know what I mean? And something that I'm starting to realize I need to do is, I have spent a lot of years believing the negative that people have told me and ignoring the good. And if I'm going to listen to other people, I need to listen to both the negative and the good. And when I started going, you know what? Maybe the people saying, you're good at this, you should do this, I started doing what they said, and it opened doors. And I was like, oh my gosh, I really am. And then I started remembering, oh yeah, I always was. Like, why, how did I end up forgetting who I was? And it's because I was seeing myself from the wrong perspective.
other people, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So, you just made me think about how it's really important also to find your true support network.
Yes.
And they can be very, and the thing about it is, kind of again going with the whole social media, is that we're in like an era where like quantity is important, right? But it's really not.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like quantity. Oh, how many friends do you have online? How many
followers? How many? Yeah.
Exactly. And so a lot of times people will look at the quantity to substantiate you.
Right.
You know what I mean? You are not a good model, or you can't be considered a serious model if you don't have X amount of people that are following you. But kind of like what you said before, you have to look at those interactions. So if you have those X amount of people, but only 2 people are really there for you, that's that quality. And so it's really important to build yourself a support network, even if it's just one person.
Right.
That support network. And then so like, luckily for me, like, I thought like, oh, I should have like a huge support network. I know so many people, I should have so many people that are helping me, with the pageant, or so many people that are, sharing my, because I know so many people, right? But at the end of the day, the only people that have, I've had like a very short handful of people, small handful of people that has been there for me, even if it was something like just to, send me motivation, like, hey, I'm not able to help you out with this, but I really think that what you're doing is cool.
Right.
Don't give up, keep pursuing your dreams, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? But, hopefully you can edit this part out. I'd say that like my husband has been like my real support network, and he's really been the person that, all of these insecurities that I have, or all of these feelings that I've had, with people, not liking my post, or I'm not getting the results that I'm expecting.
Right.
He's the one that would kind of help me to change my mindset, even though I won't personally tell him that he has, by saying hey, it doesn't matter what other people are think, or it doesn't matter what other people are saying, or what they are doing, or what they're not doing.
Right.
You have no control. We have no control other people.
Right.
We have no control whether people are gonna like what it is that you're doing. Do you like what it is that you're doing? Do you believe in yourself? Are you trying to better yourself with
Right.
And so he has been the one that has helped me when it's come to facing rejection, because in the industry you get rejected a lot. There's been so many castings that I've attended, or so many video auditions that I've submitted to, and I haven't been called back. But one thing that I can say is that with each new submission that I submit to, or each new casting that I go to, I've critiqued myself, and I figured out, okay, this is how I'm going to make this one better. And even, I review these previous videos that I've sent, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've gotten better. Even if it's something like, oh, the lighting.
Yes. Yeah. I've done the same thing. I almost didn't want to start doing a lot of things, and it's going to look stupid, or it's going to be stupid, or I'm not, this quality, blah, 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 whatever. And then I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter. Every thing that I've done, every business, every artistic venture, everything I have done, I have grown from. Everything. And I think that's what makes the difference, is not looking at, oh, I failed here, or I failed here, but more so, okay, what experience did I gain, and what can I do better next time? And that's kind of, what I look on is more so educating myself, training myself, and just getting better. And one of those things that I've done is I will go back and I'll look, how far have I come? I use my Instagram a lot as a grounding thing. Whenever I'm feeling crappy about myself, or feel like I'm not going anywhere, or, doing things, blah, whatever, I'll scroll through my Instagram, and it's happy moment after happy moment, accomplishment, after accomplishment, baby step after baby step. And I'm like, you know what? Next year, when I scroll through my Instagram feed, I'm going to see successes. I'm going to see failures. I'm going to see, but it's growth. It's personal growth. Each year, I grow as a person, and I think that's really all that matters, is don't give up on your dreams and grow. Grow through what you go through. I like that. That saying. It's my thing now. Grow through what you go through, because it's way too easy to get discouraged. It's way too easy to quit. It's way too easy to let other people's perception and opinions of you stop you. And the reality is, those same people who have those perceptions and opinions, they're not there doing your life. They're not there getting into the trenches with you. They're not there, like you were saying, very judgmental. Stand over there and judge, but never have a conversation, a true conversation about what it is that you're doing and going through. And so I've really tried to focus on don't dwell on it. Don't give it energy. Don't give it thought. Don't give it time, what other people feel about what it is that I'm doing. Something that helped encourage me is, I've seen where people have gotten offended by the things that I've done by making assumptions, and each time I'm like, you know what? This is why you don't listen to other people, because they have no idea. None. They have no idea the behind the scenes. They have no idea the motivation behind what I do, and if they're not willing to take the time to talk to me about it, then it doesn't matter. So.
And not everyone is in the best interest of your success either.
Right. That is true.
Some people are, and it's really sad to even think about it or say it, but some people are just waiting for you to fail, and so you really have to, overlook those people, you really do. I've had, people send me, I'll say, so, I don't know, sometimes people randomly, just send me stuff in my inbox, hey, look at this music video, or hey, look at this, whatever project that they're trying to promote, you know what I mean? And so, there was one particular, video that someone sent me, and, a lot of times, it just depends on how busy I am. Sometimes I look at it, sometimes it's just like, someone's just trying to spam me, But I took a look at this, right, and I was like, oh, the video is great. But I noticed that there was a spelling error, like a simple spelling error, like on the video, right? So then I was like, I replied back and I was like, hey, good video. I'm not sure if you realize this, but this word was spelled
right.
wrong. And so the person had messaged me back and was like, oh my gosh, thank you for letting me know. I sent this video out to like 100 people or so. People replied back and said, oh, good job, but not one person told me that the word was, and it was like a simple word, like, duh, T-H-E,
right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they were like, so, and it's like, something simple, you're helping that person to better themselves and improve their product, and not one person other than me told that person, like, hey, you might want to, fix this little error.
Right. I feel like sometimes, though, it's people not wanting to get backlash because, unfortunately, not everyone can take constructive criticism. Or if you point out the negative, it's like you did them a disservice. I mean, I literally just experienced that recently with an author who had uploaded an audition script that was like, it was just tech. It was an error, basically. There were no words. It was all symbols and stuff. And I sent a message to him, and his response was, it's a PDF file, and it doesn't do that to me. And I tried on my phone and my computer, and it showed, and I was like, okay, well, good luck, But it is true, so it goes both ways. It's almost like people are too afraid to correct, and sometimes when they do, they get, negative backlash. So it's definitely tricky being around people. It's tricky dealing with people, and it's difficult and it's hard, and not knowing, which direction to go. But I've definitely found comfort in, I'm not responsible for their feelings. Like, that's been my mantra this month is, I'm not responsible for other people's feelings, and other people are not responsible for mine. If someone offends me or makes me angry, that's on me to deal with. That's on me. If I make someone angry, especially if they don't come and talk to me about it, what am I going to do about it, But I know in my heart I don't do things intentionally to hurt others. And so that's been something I've struggled with a lot, is not wanting to offend other people. And being worried that I've done something in a social situation that upset them, or what have you. So, yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, if I ever send you something and something is misspelled, you better let me know.
Yeah, same. Please tell me. I definitely want to let you know that you have been an inspiration for me. I mean, I've been following you for a while, and, just watching you get out there and go. If I was thinking a mother of 7, in her 30s, if she's out there doing it, so can I. And, part of it was thinking about what other people would say or think about me, and that kind of stopped me. But I was like, you know what? If she's doing it, like, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
You can do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyone can.
Right. Yes. It just matters if you put your heart into it. Find those who are passionate about what you're passionate about and collaborate with them. That's the biggest lesson that I have learned in the last year. Find the people who are passionate about the things that you are and work with them, and work together to generate authentic following. Basically, work with people who are going in the same direction. And that's kind of the direction that I'm going, is, who's out there trying to do something new or different, and who can I partner with to move forward. So I really appreciate you taking the time to be on my show.
Thank you for having me. I feel so honored. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Absolutely, and I will.
It's great catching up with you anyways. So.
Right. And I'll definitely be promoting you. And do you know if it's televised, the Mrs. New York competition, or is it just the main event?
I think it's just the main event, but
you better go live. You better go live.
Let me find out. I will find out, and I would definitely let you know if it's televised or if it's able to be live streamed. I think it's live streamed.
Oh, okay.
But I'll get that information.
Okay, and then give it to me, and then of course, I'll help share it, and
okay,
because
awesome.
I support you.
You're awesome.
All right. Well, I will talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye, lady. Feel better.